Okay, so I think we can start now, and Yukti can admit those who are late. So, welcome everyone in the second session of Android Study Gems. Today, we will be discussing about Recycler View. It is one of the most important feature we used in our daily life. Like you scroll YouTube or Spotify or any other app. In each and every app, you can see there is a Recycler View in WhatsApp, in Instagram, everywhere. Like wherever the chat feature is there, or you have to display the list, there is a recycler view. So some more people are joining. Now, regarding the certificates and the benefits you will be getting in this study jam, those who are completing both the tracks, you can DM me. So after the certain number of students complete the both the tracks, so we will be sharing a form on that WhatsApp group itself. So you can get your certificate directly. And if anyone is facing any issue in while completing any app, or you are working on any app using Kotlin, you can DM me or DM in the group. So we can feature that app if it is something unique. So we can feature that, and you can get help from and guidance from other seniors as well. So today we have Anjali Parihar with us. She is Android development intern. And Anjali, I think you can start now.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Anjali, and today we will be dealing with RecyclerView. Okay, so we'll move step by step, like what is RecyclerView and how it is different from other listing views which we have, like we have list view, we have grid view. Okay, and then we will also see some of the terminologies associated with the RecyclerView, and see this step by step. And at the end, we will implement it in our application. And moreover, if we are not running out of time, I'll also show you how it is different from the list view through the application itself. Okay, so this is how we will go. So the very first point is, what is recycler view? Okay, so since it is like it has a suffix view, so you must have heard about text view. Hitesh, am I audible? Just one check.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Okay. So you people might have dealt with the other text views, like other views like text view, edit text, image view. So this is also view, but this is a view group. Okay. So when we deal with the text views and those sorts of views, they are independent views. Okay. So you can use them to show a particular item, but recycler view is like other components only, but it is a view group which is capable of holding other child views in it. Okay, so recycler view may have many text views in it, may have many edit text in it, may have many image views in it. Okay, so this is like what is view group, and recycler view is one of the view groups. List view is also a view group. So RecyclerView, according to the Android docs, RecyclerView is a UI component which allows us to create a scrolling list. Okay, so you might generally RecyclerView is present in majority of the applications on Android phones, and you people might also have those sorts of applications. Like we have Photos app in our Android system. We have the very simple example is a contact list. It even uses RecyclerView in it. Then we have let's say we have a music application. Okay, so let me explain you the whole concept of recycler view with the help of this application. Okay, let's say you are listening to a track. Okay, so you will see a cover image of that track, you will see the title of the track, you will see the singer's name. So it is not a single text view, it is something like a group which is having image view in it, which is having two text views in it. So this is something you can relate it with the recycler view. When you scroll it, you will see the second track. When you scroll it more up, you will see the third track. In this way, how it is. Okay. Now the second thing comes is why we are using recycler view when we have list view and grid view with us. So there is not much difference by the theory side. Recycler view is a more better version of list view. Okay, so list view, there are certain differences. There are definitely certain differences, and a very significant differences. Let me show you through an example. Very significant differences. since you can see like this, okay, I can you people can relate it this item 2 with the track 2 in your music application, track 3 in your music application, this item 3. Okay, so when you scroll it up, this item 7, this 5 items are currently visible on your screen. Okay, you have 5 tracks on your screen currently visible, but let's say you have 100 tracks in your that music application, so that 7th track is waiting to get visible. Okay, and this you have already listened, let's say you have completed 2 tracks, and these are track 1, track 2. So this is what is happening here now. When you have listened this track 1 and you scroll it up, this is somewhere here, and these are the visible items. So what will happen in the list view? Okay, I'm differentiating between list view and recycler view here. What will happen in the list view is they will occupy some space in the memory, and when there comes a chance for item 7 to get displayed, it will again occupy some space. Let's say you have 1,000 items here waiting, and each of them will get created and will occupy some space in the memory. Okay, so like you have 1,000 items here already seen, now they are out of scope of your screen. Okay, they are not of any use to you as per the application, because you have already heard them, you have already listened them. So this 1,000 items will occupy some space in the memory, and there may be many waiting views, there may be many more tracks you want to listen in future. And when you hear them, or when they come on the visible view side, they will again occupy some memory space. So in this case, your views are always creating. Okay, there's always a chance of creation, and there you will not see any time that those views are getting destroyed. So your memory space, so they will always occupy their space, so there is no chance of them to get destroyed. Okay, so in this scenario it is very less efficient, because uh, more views, more memory taking. Okay, and in this case it will lead to lagging of your screen. You might be seeing that some of, when you scroll up in many of applications, you might get lagged. Okay, so this is the reason, because a lot of views are there which are taking a lot of space in your memory. So this is a very big reason. But when you come to the recycler view, or when you handle this case with the help of recycler view, what will happen is, let's say you listen these 2 tracks. Now your item 7 is waiting to get into this visible view. What will happen is, this item 1, as the recycler view itself suggests, its name suggests that it is a recycler view. So these are the views which are not of use now. So this is termed as scrapped view. So this item 1 will get recycled, and the data of this item 7 will get updated. And you will see this view, item 1 and item 6 here, when it will get scrolled up. So in this case, only the items which are visible, let's say we have 5 items here. So only this 5 items will occupy the space. Every time you want this item 7 on the visible screen, your item 1 will get recycled. Okay, so see the difference. In the list view, you have thousands of items getting created every time you want a new one. But here, just only it will by default it will automatically get to know that how many items are there visible on the screen. It will create that much space, and the next time when any new item is to be created, it will not create new, but it will recycle those scrapped view here. Okay, I hope you got this thing. This is a major significant difference why developers use recycler view in place of list view. There's one more difference. We'll see to it. Okay. And now there are certain terminologies associated with recycler view. Okay, we will see adapter, we will see a view holder, we will see layout manager. So let's move one by one to them. What is adapter? Okay, let me show the screen. Okay, so you can see a complete image here. We will be having a data source. Data source means you might be getting, or you might be fetching that data through web, or you might be having a static data list. In the code itself, you might be having array list of strings or array list of certain objects that might be act as your data source. Then what is the role of adapter here is, you can see this line. This adapter works in collaboration with data source as well as this view holder. Let's say I have a list of 100 students. Okay, so this adapter is responsible for storing that data. Okay, adapter will store that data, and then its responsibility is to bind that data to the views which we have. Now there comes the point of view. Okay, so let's say I have a student object. The student has a name and the student has a roll number. Okay, and this data source is providing the data to it. Let's say name and roll number. Now adapter's responsibility is to bind that student name and student roll number to the corresponding views, and views will definitely be in the recycler view. So there comes a picture of view holder now. This view holder will hold those views, uh, those text views, those two text views, like the text view for name and the placeholder for and the text view for roll number. Okay. So here, how the adapter deals with data source and view holder deals with the view items. Then there comes a layout manager. What is the work of layout manager is layout manager positions the item views inside a recycler view and determines when to reuse item views that are no longer visible to the user. As we just see that those two items, which those two tracks which you have already listened will get recycled. So this is something which is responsibility of layout manager. Then comes view holder. I'll just simply define it. It's something which provide access to all the views within each item row. Okay. So these are some of the terminologies. And if you're getting anything like if you're not able to understand it right now or you're missing something, I'll definitely explain this in the core code itself. So it will be more clear to you. It's just that you must be aware of the terminologies what we are that because we will be handling the case of adapter, we will be handling the case of view holder and the layout manager. So you should be knowing that these are the things there. Okay. Now moving ahead, we have something like okay. There's one more difference between the list view there. Okay, we'll see it in the code itself. Okay. So Hitesh, let us move to the code.
Yeah, sure. You can start
Okay.
with the code.
Okay. So
Meanwhile, if someone is having any questions, you can leave your questions in the chat box.
yeah, means are you people along with me, or if you're missing anything, or if you're having any doubt, please ask it.
And if you have your laptop open, you can code side by side with her. That will be more useful. Like you can get each and every idea like what she is talking about.
Yeah, that would be more good. Okay, so you can ping the doubts. So let's start with the code. Okay, so I'll be creating a new application. Hitesh, is my screen visible? Code side.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's name the application as RecyclerView itself. We have used Kotlin. Okay, so here we are with just Cradle building. So let's design first how our application will look like. Okay, so let me give you just about the application we'll be working on. What we'll be doing now, we'll be displaying the list of students. They will be having their name and roll number as child views in it. So let's move ahead. Let's design it. Okay, so we'll need a recycler view. So you can either take it from here or you can manually add it into the dependencies. Okay, so we got it here. Let's come to the code part. I don't want this text view here. Okay, so since we are having constraint layout here, so I need to okay, this is one. We can give it as an ID. Layout width and height, let's take its match parent. Okay. So these all are like this components like layout width, height, and IDs are covered in the first session itself. So you people might not be having any doubts in it. Okay. So we are having a recycler view here. Okay. So what you can see here in the design part, we have items in it, item 0, item 1, item 2, and like this. So if I will be having a simple text view now, then it is possible for me to get it from here itself. But since I told you that we'll be having a student, and that student would be having a name and roll number with it. So I need two text views. So in order to create those custom types of widgets, I need to create them explicitly. So this row, we'll be creating this particular row by ourselves. Okay. So this is something new. Layout resource file. We'll be having item view here. It will be good if you people are following along. Okay. So what I want this in this item view is this basically you can relate this item as a student, okay? Student view, sorry. So we'll be having a text view in it. Let's give it as ID. Okay, then again text view. Text role. Since it is in the constraint layout, I need to okay, and I want this bottom of this text view to get connected with the top of text role. Okay. So let's top to top of parent, right to right of parent. Okay. I don't want this layout to occupy the complete space of the screen. I just want it to take the space as much as the content. Okay. For the sake, is it working right way? Let's say. Okay, we have it here. We have given the IDs. Okay. So we have created our item. Now comes the point of, since we have created the item, so we'll have, means we are having views, and now we need data so that this data can be accumulated in this views. Okay. So in order to handle that part, which is a data part, we need an adapter. So we'll be creating a different class here, Kotlin class. Let's say it's student adapter. Okay. Okay. So this will be extending recycler adapter. Okay. It's giving error. We'll definitely look to it after some time. Now let's look what it is telling to us. So it has certain methods in it which we need to implement. Okay, so we since we have those XML, we have those views in the XML file, but we need it here. So we'll be seeing some methods here like creating the views and binding the data to the views. So these are some of the methods provided to us by the recycler view, and we'll cover all of them step by step. This is still giving some error. We'll look to it. Okay. Now we need to create one more class here. Let's name it as holder. Okay. And it will be extending view holder. This is something which will give us the views. Okay, what is the issue? It's not recognizing it. Check it. Okay. Okay. So here, okay, since I'll be having data in the adapter here. Okay, so that data needs to get binded with the views which will be provided to us by the view holder. Okay. This type has a constructor and thus must be initialized here. So this error is what suggesting us to have some data. Okay, so we'll be getting that data from the activity. Here, from here, we'll be passing the data to the adapter. Let's remain this as it. Okay. So on create folder, on create view holder, what it will do is, we have created this view right here, right? We have created this view here, but this is in the XML format. I need it to be here. So we have something called layout inflator, which converts the XML to the view. So we'll be having a view here. Okay. So we are having layout inflator dot. It's asking for context, so we can get the context from parent. Okay. dot inflate. So you can see here it's asking for a resource. So we have that in our layout file, layout dot. This is a resource. Okay. The second parameter is the view group. So we have the parent itself, and the third parameter is this. This is how we converted our XML view to the view with which we can deal with. Okay. Now, this is giving error because we need to return a certain type. So we have the view now, and I need to pass this holder to, let's give it a view and just return it. Okay. So this constructor wants some view, say it will be of type view. Okay. We are returning it here and we'll get it here. Now I have this views here. Okay, this ID has been given to it as text name, and this has ID as text row. So how will I access them in my activity file? Sorry, this adapter class. This is where the view holder helps us. Let's get them. I'm having a name of type text view. Okay, and okay, there comes another thing that we don't have these views in any file. We have a certain view here that's called constraint layout, and then we have this text view. So how we can fetch it here is view dot v dot text name, and we'll be having one more thing that is called roll number. Okay. This is how we have accessed those XML views in our code. Now we can perform any operation. I want to set the data, I can do it here right away. Okay. Now, what this onBind view holder will do now, I will be having some data in the adapter, and this method will bind that data to this views. Let's see how we'll do it. We have created the layout file. Now we just want we have created the views. Now we just want the data so that we can bind that data to our views. Let's do that. Okay, so you might be having a case where you are fetching the data from the web, but let's take a simple case here. I'll be having a get data function, which will provide me the data. Okay. Okay. So here, let's make an array list of data. Okay. So we are dealing with student, right? So let's build a student class first. So we'll be having name, and we'll be having a roll number. Okay. And we'll be having a constructor. Okay. So we'll be having an array list of students. Okay. So we need to set the data in it, right? At present moment, it is empty. So what we can do is we can have, let's say, 20 students. We can take that case for I in 20. Okay, so we have 20 students here, and we need to add those 20 students in this list. So one way, what we can do is we can simply, at present moment, I don't have any data except this I. Okay, I just have this I which is ranging from 1 to 20. So I need to make some trick with this variable itself only. I don't have much data here. So let's give the roll number to the students as I only. Okay, so first student will be having a roll number 1 and second student will be having a roll number 2. But how to deal with the name cases, you people might be aware of the ASCII values. So what we'll be doing is we are having the capital letters A to Z from 65 ASCII value. So we'll be dealing with that. Okay. 60. So first I need to convert it to char. And since here in the student class, I have the type as string. So I need to convert it to the string. Okay. And I need one more data, that is, okay, since it is a object, I need to pass one more data, that is I. Okay, but this until will run till 19 only. So I need to do this 0. Okay. And here, in this case, I'll be doing this. Wait. Okay, so this is how we are getting, this is our data source basically. Okay, so this list is our data source. Here you can see in the picture. Okay, sorry, I just missed it. You're presenting. Okay, here's our data source. Okay, so in our case, we have a list as a data source. Okay, so are you people getting it? If any doubts, please. At any point of time, if you're not getting it. Okay. So list is our data source. Okay, and I need this list, so we'll be returning it. Let's return this list. Okay, so I'll be getting this list somewhere here. Okay, before that, RecyclerView has something called layout manager. Okay, so we need to set it. So basically, when you set the layout manager, you're provided with certain options. Okay. So RecyclerView.layout manager. At first case, we'll be using linear layout manager. Okay. Vertical. Okay, so we have certain other ways to recycler view. So this here comes a difference between the linear layout and recycler view. So when you deal with list, when you deal with the list view, you are only provided with one orientation, that is vertical layout. But when you deal with recycler view, you can deal with linear layout where you have the options of vertical as well as horizontal. You can deal with grid view. You can deal with staggered view. Okay, so we'll see them one by one. LNCT manager. So what it is asking to us is we need a context. Okay, so activity is the context itself. Now it needs an orientation. Okay, so here you have the chance to mention whether you want your items to be in the vertical manner or in the horizontal manner. So we have a constant here. Okay, I want it to be in vertical. Okay, and there's one more thing that is called reverse layout. So I don't want it. Okay. This reverse layout basically means that let's say you have uh, items like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And when you are scrolling them, let's say we are dealing with horizontal layout at present. Okay. So when you're scrolling it, reverse layout means that reverse layout has two options actually, LTR and RTL. Okay, so by default it's LTR. Like when you scroll it, you need to scroll it to left in order to view this two. Okay, and you need to scroll this two to the left in order to view three. But if you set this reverse layout as true, that means you want your orientation to be RTL, that is right to left. So in that case, you will be having five here in order to view four. No, no. In that case, you will be having one here. And in order to view two, you need to scroll it to the right. So this is the only difference that in which direction you need to scroll. Okay. So as I set it to false, so by default I'll be having it left to right. Okay. We have other views too here. We can see them. Dot layout manager is equals to we are provided with grid view. Okay, so we have grid layout manager. In this case, it is asking for a context. It's asking for a context and a span count. Span count here means the number of columns you want. Grid view is like you will be having certain number of columns and then the data is displayed to you. Okay. So you can pass that. Context would be the activity itself and the span count would be let's say the number of columns you want in it. Okay. Then we have staggered grid layout manager. Here the same case. Now it is asking for span count and the orientation. Okay. Span count you would specify the number of columns you want, and the orientation means similar is the case here. You will specify that whether you want vertical or you want a horizontal layout. Okay. So let's continue with this only, this linear layout manager. Okay. So we set the layout to the recycler view. Now the next part is since I got the data, okay, I'll be having it in I'm having my data in this list. Now I'm having this in the activity. Okay, I need to pass this data to the adapter. This adapter. So that data can be binded to this views. Okay. So for that very purpose, I need to have something here which will accept my data. So I'm having the array list here. Let's say I'm having it in items, and that is of this type. Okay, so I need to pass that list. So it has adapter, okay, and I'll be passing this list to here. Okay, does not have constructors. So issue here. I'll definitely look to it. Okay. So here in this case, I'm passing the data to the list. Okay. So I'm getting it here. here. So now my very purpose here is to bind this data, that is the student data, with this views. So that work will be done here. Okay. So I am having this name here. Okay. So this holder, now this function on create view holder returns a holder, and it will be accessed here. This is the holder we are getting it from here. So I need to bind text to. This is the student data which I'm getting in the list. So I need to bind this data. Create this one, constructor. Is it accessing it? No. Okay. Can I miss something passing here? Is it after? It's not able to access it. Let me see it. Okay. This is my class name and not that. This generally happens. on-bind view holder. Okay, so this was a problem. Okay, so I got the list of students here in items, and according to the position, because this is a position variable, right? So this will give us the position of view holder in the adapter. We'll be having a particular item, and that position must be referred to the adapter in order to set the data, because we are having a list of data, right? So let's say I got a particular student. Now I need to set the name, okay? And now I have a role here. Get the position of that student and set its role. Okay. The role is an integer type, so I need to set toString here. Okay, this is done. By getting one more error, this is not needed here. Okay, so we'll see once again how it is working. We designed our layout. We designed our we designed the view for each row in the item view here itself. Okay. Then we came to student adapter, where we designed our custom adapter. Okay, so this is what is happening here is how the flow will be. This on create view holder method will called only once. Okay, when only will be called only once when the views are to be created. Okay, then this on bind view holder will call every time when a new view is there. Okay, like you can relate this to the picture I showed you here. Okay, so on create view holder will get called only once when this items will be assigned. Okay, but whenever a new item comes to the visible view, the on bind view holder will get called, and this item 7 is a data for this view now. So this item 7 will get binded to this particular view. I hope you're getting. Okay, now there comes this function. This needs an get item count, so we'll return the size of it. Okay, so that's it here. In this function we binded the data with the view holder. So you can relate this to the picture. Okay, adapter is giving us the data because adapter is responsible for the storing of data. So it's storing data here, and we're getting the views from this view holder. And in this method on bind view holder, this view holder and this adapter, which is having the data, is collaborating. Okay, so this data is set to this particular view. So here comes a picture where adapter works with both view holder side as well as the data source side. Hope we are good to go. Okay, there is one more thing. Dot adapter, we set the adapter. Okay. So let's run it. Okay, meanwhile, if your people are having any doubt, please, you can. Okay, let me do it once again. Okay, so we need to format the data. Okay, let me do it here. You can see the data is coming. We are doing right, but we need to manage something here. Okay, let's design this item part. Let's give a margin to it. Okay, let's give a background color so that we can differentiate. Okay, and let's give the margin, layout margin, let's say 5 dp. Okay, size, let's say 5 sp. This is something how our every item will look like. Let's give color to itself. Okay, and instead of setting just the name and this, you can have something like, okay, this we are concatenating the strings. Okay. Okay, so this is how it will look like. Okay, you can scroll it, and let's say we are having at present we are having this six no no seven views here because this is half taken. Okay, so at present only seven views are visible, and let me scroll it up. Let's say I scroll this student with name A here. Okay, now you can see this H is coming here. Okay, so it's not newly created. You are not seeing this A, so it's get recycled, and that view only, that view with the name A is getting recycled here, and its name is getting updated here with name H. Okay, so this is what is difference between recycler view. But if you have implemented this application with the help of list view, then that student A has taken some different space. Okay, that is present there, and this H, I, J, K all are creating new. Okay, so this all will be also taking some space in the memory, and this is just this list of 20 students. So in our case we are just having 20 item views, but in practical applications, when you see, you will see thousands of items there in the list. So that is really not the efficient manner to do this kind of things with the help of list view. So definitely go with the recycler view. Okay, so this is our final application, and we Hitesh, is there time? Can we implement that part too?
I think we have crossed 1 hour, so we can stop here, and we can take that thing into our next session.
That would be fine.
Yeah. So I would like to ask our participants, were you guys able to get what she taught? Like, can you just reply so that she can know how she have and did you got or not? Or either you can turn on your mic and talk. Okay, so one person is replying. So, Anjali, thank you so much for your time and for teaching RecyclerView, because we know it is the most widely used feature in Android Studio, and we need it in our daily life in each and every app. So whatever she made, like she took two text views, roll number and name. If you want to add image, or you want to design something, a particular item, you can just change the design of the that item view, and then you can get your recycle view completely changed. Okay. So any questions from your side, or we are good to wrap then?
Okay, one more thing. We'll be uploading this code on the GitHub so you can get it there also if you're not following up. So,
Yeah. You can
yeah.
just upload that on GitHub and put the link in our group, WhatsApp group.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So I think we are good to wrap. Yukti, is there anything else to say?
No, it's all done.
Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and a happy New Year. You can leave.